Hey YouTube, it is your girl and I am here with a product review and comparison review. I'm going to go ahead and review these makeup brushes because I was actually on one of my beauty Facebook groups and there was some type of issue. ColourPop came out with some makeup brushes, only two. I guess it was marketed as like a shader and like a fluffy crease brush. And I believe that the packaging was very similar to Luxy Beauty, which I have some of the Luxy Beauty eyeshadows. I actually just purchased them from their Black Friday sale and I haven't even used them yet. So I'm going to use the ColourPop, which I also have not used, and I'm going to use the Luxy Beauty just to show you guys kind of how they differ. And also I'm going to be using it with a ColourPop eyeshadow, a matte eyeshadow, and a regular frosty eyeshadow so that you can see the difference. In between, I'm going to be cleaning them off on my Sephora Vera Mona color switch, and we shall go from there. So let's go ahead and let's check out the obvious. So when ColourPop released these on Instagram, they show pictures of these brushes. I ended up getting two of their fluffier brushes and one of their eyeshadow brushes. I don't remember exactly what names that they were listing them as, and the names are not written on these ColourPop brushes. It basically just says ColourPop. And it doesn't say, it doesn't have a number like it's a 452. It doesn't say if it's a shader or a concealer brush. And I did notice that in regards to the whole look of it, here is where the ColourPop logo and everything is. Actually, there is a color difference. It looks like however they put on the logo, some are darker than the others, so I'm just gonna have to assume that the color is going to fade off or rub off on them if you have them for a long time. These things attract dust like no other. Like, I've been flicking off dust particles and stuff or lint off of these brushes, so it's very interesting. When I first got these, I opened them up and immediately I was like, okay, these are basic synthetic brushes. So I wasn't like, wow. I do absolutely love the color. You know, it is a light powder pink. I don't know how it's registering on camera. And then the metal part right here is of a rose gold type of color. Now, the ones that everyone just, even the people from Luxie was like, oh yeah, those are like our brushes. These are some of the Luxy brushes that I recently picked up. So as you can kind of see, the ColourPop ones are lighter in color. The handles are lighter. The metal parts that's holding the bristles or the hairs is definitely different. So we have light rose gold, and then we have this one as more of like a pewter type of rose gold. It is a deeper color. Also on the Luxy ones, these look like it was written, their logo plain ink, and the logo looks just a little bit like it wanted to be rose gold, but they, you know, cut costs because ColourPop is a very affordable brand. You know, their eyeshadows are like, I don't know, $5 or something like that. Whereas Luxy, I got a box of Luxy. I want to say it was a 6-piece set for like $25, and that was with like a sale or a coupon. So they are a little bit more on the pricier side. As far as their logo and everything goes, their logo has more of a metallic impression on their handles, so that is different. Also, there is numbers. So I am going to be comparing the 231, which is a small tapered blending brush, and it says it right here on the brush, I have a 229 tapered blending brush. Again, it says it. And a 213 eye shading brush. Now, going back to the ColourPop ones, immediately I noticed that this does not feel like or even look like your regular eyeshadow brush. It looks like a concealer brush to me. And I'm like, does ColourPop even have concealers? I know they had like some contour type of things at one point. I don't have them, so I don't know. So when I got home, I picked up some of my concealer brushes and it looks just like them. So this is a Hakuhodo one concealer brush. As you can see, everything is stiff. The Hakuhodo one, this one is, the ColourPop one is more dense and stiff. The Hakuhodo one has more give and flexibility to it, but as you can see, the hairs in the Hakuhodo one are much longer. So then I ended up pulling out my Sigma brush, my Sigma concealer brush. This is the Concealer F70, and yeah, there you have it. These were basically two concealer brushes. The Sigma one handle is longer. As far as the hairs, you can tell that the Sigma one is thicker, and far as flexibility rise, the ColourPop one is stiffer. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that the ColourPop ones are designed for ColourPop eyeshadows. That's what I was thinking when I first got them. When ColourPop first came out, a lot of people had some type of issues with their shock, what are they called? Super shock shadows, and being able to pick them up and apply them and having fallout, and I'm hoping and assuming that this will help with that, and that's why it really looks like a concealer brush. So the other brush, this is two of the same ones, was more like a blending brush. And looking at the Luxy brushes, if I had to compare it to any of these, not really. These are more flat. The Luxy brushes are more rounded as far as, you know, the grip on the metal, and as far as the way that the brush is actually spread out. It would have, as you, I mean, you see how this one has a dent on it and these are all rounded. This is the only other one that has that same dent on it, which is the 213, and it's called the Eye Shading Brush from Luxie. So if I'm going to compare the 213 and the ColourPop one, here are these two together. To me, they are completely different, not even nowhere near in the same category. If I had to pick a random brush that this ColourPop one is actually similar to, I would have to say it's similar in feel of the Sigma SS224. So both of them have pretty much the same feel to it, and far as density, flexibility, they both have the same feel to it. But also with the ColourPop, it's wide, and then with the Sigma, it is a rounded one. So the tips are a little bit more rounded, and the base of the metal part are different. Sigma's round and ColourPop is flat. So just looking at visually how different they are, I mean, I have so many brushes. I have hundreds and hundreds of brushes, and I'm just trying to find one that it even really kind of compares to. They don't really compare to too many of the other ones that I have in my arsenal, and I have hundreds of brushes. I would say that these are the ones that are coming close. If I was to say in between, stiff, light, kind of stiff. I would have to say, if I'm going to compare ColourPop to any of the other Luxie ones, I would say it's the Luxie 231, because this one is like the Sigma, and the Sigma almost matches or kind of similar to the ColourPop one. So there you have it. So let's go ahead and get into some swatches. I'm going to start off with the one that I call the ColourPop concealer brush, and I'm going to use it with La La Super Shock from ColourPop. I haven't used it. I actually don't really use a lot of ColourPop, and so I'm just going to kind of get some product. And here you can see how the product is coming off onto the wand or the brush. And let me do one swipe. So there you have it. Now let me get a little organized. I'm going to take the Sigma concealer brush, which is the F70, and I'm going to do the very same thing. Taking a little from the Sigma immediately grabbed more product easily, but if you look at the Sigma one, it didn't go on as pigmented. Whoa, pretty cool. So even after 2 applications using the Sigma brush, Sigma concealer brush, didn't quite apply the product as much. Let me also do that with the tapered, not even tapered, I'll just call it like a bending brush. And I'm going to pick up some of the ColourPop La La, and I'm going to apply it right here. Not a whole lot came off on my hand. And then, just for the sake of comparing it to Luxie, I'm going to use the small 231 from Luxie. So here it is, picking up the product and applying it. And actually the Luxie, you can kind of see it applied to my hand, it applied more pigmented. So more product came off from the Luxie brush than the fluffy brush. So far for me, the Luxie small tapered blending brush, it's a good one. Comparing it to the ColourPop cleaning the brushes ones, and as far as the concealer brush, ColourPop wins this round. Oh, cool. Okay, clean. Now I am going to try a matte color. I'm going to be using my Sugar Peel in Butter Cupcake, which is a nice yellow color. I wanted to pick a bright color to see if it would come off on my hand. And I don't want to wet my hand because I don't want that. I'm just going to use the other hand. So we're going to start off again with the ColourPop concealer one. Grabbing some product. So I'm trying to grab some of the matte, and it's going to be kind of difficult to do it this way. Yeah, applying it to my hand using the ColourPop, I call it their concealer brush. It didn't pick up a lot of product, and it made it kind of powdery on the brush. I didn't really like that. Going to use the Sigma. Pick up the product a little bit more and putting it this way next to pretty much the same. So that was the same. And I'm going to use the ColourPop shading one. Ooh, here is the product here. And I like. Comes off pretty good. And what was I using? I was using the Luxie one, right? Yeah. So here is the Luxie one. Same sugar pill yellow. Picked up a lot. Luxie is a win far as picking up the matte bright yellow. This is the Luxie right here. So Luxie fluffy blending tapered blending 231 is another win. So let me go ahead and clean these off. The last one shadow that I'm going to use is from Pat McGrath, and her, I don't know if it's a foil or metal or metallic, but it's super intense. So if any shadow is going to transfer onto anything, it's going to be this one. So the color that I'm using from Pat McGrath, I want to say it's number 1. It says H301, which is her gold one. Oh, I love this color. And it kind of just get, I don't want to put any oils or wet my hands, so I don't want it to mess with my little testing. I'm going to take some, this is the concealer brush again. Wow. So a couple swipes of that. And wow. It laid down the product initially very well, but pulling it out, hardly any color payoff. Far as the Sigma one, a little bit better. So here is the Sigma one, and I just pulled it that way. And then I'm going to use the ColourPop tapered shading brush. I don't know why I can't get that right. The ColourPop one. Wow, that's nice. Very nice. Just that one right there. And lastly, the Luxie 231. So much easier when I can say the numbers or even know the names. So there is the Luxie, and again, Luxie for the win. For me, Luxie pigmented. You can see the pigment on my skin. Oh, see the difference? Okay, so all in all, first impressions of the ColourPop one. The blending brush, or the fluffier brush, it's decent, it's nice. It doesn't have a lot of color payoff. I would use it as a blending brush in my crease, you know, kind of blend in like dark colors, dark matte colors, or just clean up the area in my crease. I wouldn't be expecting a whole lot of color payoff, but I will be expecting some, maybe just like medium level color payoff. As far as the shading brush, or what I call their concealer brush, it's, with eyeshadows, it's kind of a miss for me. Although the Luxie 231 completely knocked the ColourPop one like out of the water, I definitely like the ColourPop fluffy blending brush more than I like this one. So I'm glad that I did pick up 2 of those. This one, I plan on seeing after its performance. I plan on using it as a highlighter brush to highlight underneath my eye, and also maybe apply concealer, or as you can see, there is a really small pimple right there. So if I wanted to, you know, take some concealer or a cream or something, I would kind of work it into my skin using a brush like this. I don't know how much the ColourPop brushes are going to cost, because I purchased it. Whenever you purchase an eyeshadow, I think you have to purchase 2 eyeshadows to get 1 brush or something like that. And you know, the eyeshadows are $5 each or something like that. I don't know. And yeah, so that's how I was able to get the brushes, you know, to go ahead and test. I had to buy the the eyeshadows and stuff with it. So would I buy more in the future if they were to come out with other ones? I might buy them, you know. I wouldn't like break the bank over them, or you know, if they just came out, I wouldn't run to go get them. Like they're not hot, they ain't hot. So you know, if Sigma or Royal and Langnickel or even MAC or something, or even IT Cosmetics came out with new brushes, let me go ahead and get them. But ColourPop, they alright. So they're nice. I'm not gonna go ahead and shade them or anything, but as far as quality and how they stand up to my other brushes, they're just not there. As far as the actual bristles and what they are made of, I would have to just look at them and say that they are synthetic. The other brushes that I do have, some of them are like animal hairs, the Hakuhodos. You guys know they're like squirrel hairs and horse hairs and things like that. So comparing them to other brushes that are synthetic, and they're nice. So again, I mean, I would purchase some more in the future, but I just wouldn't run and go purchase them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.